This evening I was just handed a letter about our Man of the Year that I'd like to share with you. Dear Mrs. Strum, please accept my appreciation for the recognition that you and your colleagues at Wine Enthusiast bestowed on Pennsylvania and Jonathan Newman in honoring him as your magazine's Man of the Year. Your December 2003 cover story properly identified the pride that Pennsylvanians feel in the accomplishments of the PLCB under Jonathan's leadership. Jonathan has moved Pennsylvania to the forefront of wine and spirits retailing in the nation and established our reputation as a wine-friendly state. Particularly because we know the respect in which Wine Enthusiast magazine is held within the industry, in the U.S. and throughout the world, we especially welcome your decision to honor Jonathan. You have my best wishes for a successful awards dinner on Monday night. Sincerely, Edward G. Rendell, Governor of Pennsylvania. And now to introduce our Man of the Year is Michael Mondavi, Co-Vice Chair of the Robert Mondavi Winery.
Adam, thank you very much. Those goddamn politicians. He said everything. Seriously, it's an honor and pleasure to be able to introduce Jonathan this evening. Jonathan's a native of Philadelphia, a lawyer by training, but an entrepreneur in spirit. And that's something that was really new to the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. He was appointed chairman of the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board in August of 2002 and is in charge of only 634 stores throughout the state. In the short time since he's taken that position, he has brought a wine revolution to Pennsylvania. Since joining the PLCB, Jonathan has led the development of several major marketing and educational campaigns throughout the state. These range from expanding the premium collection wine and spirit stores, which are now 46, in 46 locations, to introducing competitive pricing, to broadening the selection of wines offered to his consumers and the citizens of Pennsylvania. In addition, under Jonathan's leadership, the board has introduced Sunday shopping hours, enhanced employee training and wine education. And for those of us who remember going to Pennsylvania, going into the stores years ago and talking to the people in the stores and asking them about wine, remember the blank stare you'd get back? It ain't the same today. It's wonderful. And the education and training, congratulations. He's opened 6 outlet stores with wonderful products at discounted prices. And these stores are reducing the flight from Pennsylvania to other states so that the citizens can enjoy buying wines and spirits at home. Other accomplishments include the online store www.pennsylvaniawineandspirits.com, which features more than 1,500 wines and 150 premium spirits, creating the first one-stop shop, a full-scale store within the supermarket. Another critical step was something that's very dear to every one of us who produce wines, and that is temperature control. From the shipment from the wineries to the temperature in the warehouses and in-store temperature control in a number of the fine wine shops. Jonathan's been instrumental in doing something. When he called and invited me to the first Pennsylvania Wine Festival, I said, "You're kidding." I would not have believed that that was possible, particularly in such a short period of time. That started in Philadelphia in 2002, expanded to Pittsburgh last year, and this year we'll be adding Harrisburg as well. That is amazing. Wineries have the opportunity of presenting their wines in a great setting to the citizens and the interested consumers in the state of Pennsylvania. That is spectacular. Thank you very, very much. This multifaceted approach has led to great increase in sales, needless to say, making significant contributions to his home state. He's the nation's single largest purchaser of California wines. Actually, the world's largest purchaser of California wines. And that's not bad. In addition to contributing to the Treasury, which, especially in today's economy, is very important, I think that the accessibility, the appreciation of wines, and the breadth of selection that the citizens of Pennsylvania have gotten is absolutely fantastic, and it's great for all of us in the wine and spirit industry. The interesting thing is he's helped the cause of winemakers everywhere, wine consumers in Pennsylvania, and I'm told that he's also helped the enjoyment of people who enjoy horse racing. And in fact, wasn't it Saturday that Radar Sign just won a race? So fine wines, fine horses are very important. We haven't had much, participation this evening. I think it's very important. There's a little, being in a family business and with so many of the wonderful families that have been here tonight, I think it's important not to allow family differences to fester. You have to bring them out, and it's best to solve it before you go to sleep. Do you all agree with that? For his many contributions to society, including the enormous number of people who are enjoying the pleasures and the civilizing effects of wine consumption in moderation, the Wine Enthusiast magazine is honored to name Jonathan Newman its Man of the Year. Jonathan. Bravo, bravo.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming. There's one thing I want to straighten out a little bit with Adam. Adam said earlier that somebody had asked for a cheesesteak over a filet, and if you know my personality, that possibly couldn't be true. I asked Adam for some scrapple, and he didn't have any scrapple, so I was very disappointed. But it has been a very exciting week for me, and for tonight to have somebody like Michael Mondavi, who's one of my real heroes, introduce me for an evening like this is very special. So Michael, thank you very much for those kind words. My wife and I were due to have our fourth child, and Shana's our oldest at 15, and 10 days ago we delivered a healthy baby girl, and I could tell when I called Adam up on the phone, he was a little bit relieved. I wonder, Adam, did you lose any sleep thinking that my wife might deliver tonight?
Yes.
Okay. To understand what's going on in Pennsylvania, I think it's important to understand Pennsylvania's prohibitionist past, because it's a very unique, it's a great state, and yet we have a very interesting tradition in Pennsylvania. And as somebody is a historian, Benjamin Rush. And Benjamin Rush was one of the leaders in the time and kind of led what was then the early prohibitionist movement. One of the strong positions that he took was that imbibing alcohol of any sort could lead to spontaneous combustion. He did think that alcohol had some good medicinal purposes, and he recommended that people soak their feet in alcohol. And we all laugh about that, but Pennsylvania for a long time, you really couldn't be proud to say you were a wine lover. It was inappropriate to say that wine or a cocktail is part of an appropriate lifestyle, that moderation is appropriate. And I'd like to think that we have led a real revolution in Pennsylvania. And one of the things that I sought to do was to make Pennsylvania the wine-friendly state. Now, we have had record-setting sales revenues in the past year. I'm proud to say our sales were over $1.3 billion, and we're growing at a 100% growth rate, growth we've never seen in Pennsylvania's history before. And there has been a renaissance, I believe, certainly in retail wine. Our wine sales have been amazingly impressive. I've got a great team in Pennsylvania, but there's so many changes that we've made. I'd like to take you through, if I can for a few minutes, the Pennsylvania Odyssey. Because for me, wine is about family, food, and romance, and it's easy to talk about increased sales, but you had to really, I think, make some important changes in Pennsylvania. And one of the important changes was Sunday sales. Sunday is now the second most popular shopping day of the week, a big retail week. Most people, two-income families, it's hard to get out. And I think instituting Sunday sales was something that was very important, and the consumers have responded overwhelmingly that it's been great for them. The wine festivals that Michael talked about. The first wine festival we did was with Philadelphia Magazine. And I think it lit the city on fire. And what a great example of a partnership between a government agency and private industry. We had hotel rooms and restaurants and people coming to the city, and we really highlighted what a beautiful city Philadelphia is. We had over 1,000 people attend, and this year we're going to increase the Philadelphia Wine Festival. We added Pittsburgh last year. Pittsburgh is a magnificent city, and we showcased that city. And now we're going to the heartland, to the central part of the state with a third wine festival. And I thank you all for participating because it's been overwhelming on both the consumer and the support from the wine industry. Our e-commerce website. I thought that was one of the great equalizers in the state of Pennsylvania, because now if you live in rural Pennsylvania, you go onto the website, and if you put in your order before noon, it's at your store waiting for you the next day. And we have a wine club, and we've already had hundreds of people join the wine club. And we know with the wine club we have to over-deliver, and we're bringing great wine to Pennsylvanians who really weren't into it before, and we're getting people who are entry-level wine drinkers, and we're trading them up, and they're really enjoying the new experience. Temperature control for wine. There had to be a time where people stopped treating wine like it was just another commodity, that wine is very much an alive product. And there were times I would go to our old warehouse and it would be 100 degrees in Philadelphia, and I would see the wine sitting there, and that was unacceptable. And I can say that our warehouses are now completely temperature controlled reefers, and we're protecting wine and the integrity of the product. In the stores, we're maintaining our rooms at the right temperature, and we're building temperature controlled wine rooms in our top 47 stores, and we're really getting there. We've really been expanding our stores, these premium collection stores. We're building new ones. We're expanding the current stores. We're going into supermarkets. The first supermarket store that we opened was an overwhelming success. People love the concept of being able to do their shopping and get a wine and spirit at the same time. And we're going to continue to build more of these supermarket stores. Accessories. That was another change in legislation that we had to solicit. You might laugh, but our employees were trained a year ago when somebody asked for a corkscrew, we would give them directions to their local hardware store. And now people can get the top Riedel stemware and Spiegelau and wine publications, books and magazines and corkscrews. It's just absolutely different shopping experience. And that's what we're trying to change in Pennsylvania. Competition is very keen on the borders. We have states that are very noble retailers, Delaware, Maryland, and New Jersey. And for Pennsylvania to step up to the plate and stop that border bleed, we had to get aggressive on the borders. And those of you have been great partners helping us with our outlet store program, and that program is doing unbelievable. Some of the stores on the New Jersey border, for example, are up over 150% with no effect on the stores in the nearby area. In-store samplings, being able to get the top winemakers of the world come and do these in-store samplings have been a huge victory for us. It's a great way to introduce our consumers to premium wine. People have enjoyed the events, and we have them on an almost daily basis throughout Pennsylvania, and I think it's added a lot to the wine-loving public that's been out there. There have been a lot of changes in 2003 and 2004. We've got some other things we're going to unveil. I think it's going to be an equally exciting year. There's so many people that I want to thank that have been a big part of the renaissance of the PLCB, but first from a personal perspective, I want to thank somebody who's been a real saint to me, very busy lifestyle, out of home a lot. That's my wife, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy. And my parents, my dad, Julius Newman, is here today. My mom is home taking care of the baby, which let Nancy come to tonight's event. So it's great to have my dad with me, my son Shane. The other two guys don't even get a night in New York, but it looks like you are going to get your night in New York after all. We have an amazing marketing department at the PLCB, and I want to thank everybody, the board, the governor, who has been unbelievably supportive in those beautiful words tonight, the legislature that's really stepped up to the plate, allowed us to make so many of these important changes in Pennsylvania. The other thing is it's great to be in the company that I'm in tonight. The kind of people that won all the awards tonight, going from the Gallo family to all the award winners. I'm in great company. Congratulations to everybody who received awards tonight. And to Adam Strum and Wine Enthusiast magazine, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. God bless everybody.
We have a fantastic dessert and some delicious Inniskillen ice wine for you, so please enjoy.